Over 800 islands dot Britain's coastline. Some of the most spectacular can be found off Scotland. These islands have been a sacred destination for centuries. Christian missionaries arrived here 1,500 years ago to spread a new faith. And amid this breathtaking beauty, their legacy still lingers today. My name is Ben Fogle. Over 2 decades ago, I was marooned on a remote Scottish island for a year for a TV show called Castaway. Like those early pilgrims, I have a deep connection to these islands and their religious and spiritual heritage.
This is so peaceful.
In this series, I'm setting out to explore how sacred traditions still survive in island communities today.
Islands just have a special spiritual energy.
And experience the power of these landscapes to inspire wonderment and faith.
I just know that I can walk along the beach and feel the presence of God.
In this episode, I journey to the stunning Isle of Skye.
That is an awe-inspiring moment.
I join a sea kayaker on a quest to find inner peace.
What can be gained from placing ourselves in times of difficulty and coming through, and just realizing that the tide changes and that things will get better.
I'll explore with young people experiencing the island's rugged scenery for the first time.
It puts everything into perspective, like this is so massive and big and I'm so small.
And discover a phenomenal place of worship.
The natural aspect of the world is a gift from God, and for me it's something that we should cherish.
Join me on an epic pilgrimage across 12 of Scotland's magical, sacred islands.
I'm quite excited about this. I am off to Skye. Now, normally when I head to an island, I'm on a ferry. But to get to Skye, there is now a bridge.
Opened in 1995, the bridge spans the 500-metre wide Isle of Skye, the channel separating Skye from the mainland.
What does a bridge do to island status? Does it change the whole dynamic? I've read a statistic that before the bridge was built, the ferry here took about 250,000 cars per year. Today it's estimated that nearly 750,000 cars now cross this bridge.
Skye's population is 13,000, so most people coming across the bridge are visitors.
Here we are. Welcome to Skye.
Skye is said to be one of the world's most stunning islands, and accessibility by bridge has helped turn the island into a must-see destination.
Look at the mountains. Skye is a wild place.
St. Columba himself is said to have introduced the Christian faith to Skye in the 6th century. I want to explore the island's religious and spiritual heritage. With so many visitors, what endures today? 50 miles long, Skye is Scotland's second biggest island after Lewis and Harris. I'll journey up its length to the north end. But I'll also cross over to the smaller islands of Rasay and Rona that are more remote and only reachable by boat. My first stop heading north is a famous viewpoint, Old Sligerchen Bridge, overlooked by the dramatic Coolin Mountains. As the locals might say, It's a Drich day. There's a reason Skye's Gaelic name is Isle of Skye, Island of Mist.
Incredibly popular here. I understand why. Such a beautiful, magical landscape. But compared to some of the other islands I have visited, there is a density of people coming here. And what I find quite interesting is what people seem to be doing. And it's coming, looking, taking the photograph, and then moving out. It feels to me like fleeting tourism. And I'm not dismissive of that, we all do it. But I wonder what impact that has on Skye. So where are you all from?
Germany.
From
Yes.
Germany. Why have you come to Skye?
Curious about the landscape, about the people.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful waterfalls and pretty, very pretty.
Skye is famed for its pre-Christian Celtic legends. Folk tales of fairy pools granting eternal youth, of warrior giants stalking the hills. But near the heart of the island is the place where Christianity is said to have been first introduced to Skye. This is St. Columba's Isle. Surrounded by one of the many rivers that cascade down from the mountains, it was thought to have been sacred to Skye's pagan people. And tradition says that this is where St. Columba came to preach in the 6th century and found a monastery. All that remains today are the overgrown ruins of a tiny 11th century chapel. But in medieval times, this island may well have been an important site of Christian pilgrimage. Today, visitors to Skye have a different pilgrimage destination in mind. To the north of the island lies the Trottenish Peninsula. Renowned for its Jurassic-era cliffs, it's one of Skye's must-see locations. A single-track road takes me up towards the huge, primordial crags.
What a road this is. Quite difficult to get a perspective of where I am, but I'm dwarfed by these mountains. It's a little single track road, some little passing places. Got one car coming down. Quite an ascent. Wow, look at that.
This northern end of Skye has become so popular with visitors that recently, nearly 1,000 feet above sea level, a car park was built.
So there's a lot of cars from Europe, all over the world, to be honest. Most people are heading this way. I'm going to head off this way, where there are the fewest people. You can't not be moved by that. Look at the cloud all passing over the different colors of green. It's otherworldly.
I wonder if St. Columba ever stood here. His time on Skye is described in a biography written some 100 years after his death, in 597 AD. It tells of how he gave up his life as a privileged Irish prince to become a penitent holy man and spread the message of Christian faith. Did Columba ascribe the awe this landscape inspires to the power of God and his creation?
You know, there's this thing now known as the science of awe. How often are we awe-inspired in our lives? It's probably happened to all of us at some stage, but usually it's a dramatic sky or an incredible moon or a fantastic landscape. It calms us, it makes us kinder, it roots us, it grounds us. And for me, that is an awe-inspiring moment. I feel very small, puts things into perspective, roots me, it grounds me, and it calms me down. And I understand why hundreds of thousands of people travel from all over the world now to come and look at that, be part of that, have a selfie with that. It's your own way of interacting with the landscape.
I want to meet others who, like me, are experiencing Skye's awe-inspiring landscape for the first time, to find out how it impacts on them too. At the foot of the Trottenish Cliffs lies a prominent building bearing St. Columba's name. It's not a church, rather it's a leadership academy. Set up 1400 years after Columba's death, the academy is inspired by his example of pioneering missionary spirit. It's helped transform the lives of thousands who've passed through its doors by taking them on a journey of self-discovery on Skye. And it's this process that I'm hoping to witness for myself.
So we're going to take a time outside.
All the young people invited here come from urban central Scotland. Many have never had the opportunity to come to somewhere as beautiful and rugged as Skye before. But by getting them out into the landscape, it's hoped that they can discover new levels of personal confidence that will benefit them in later life.
The weather is really good at the moment, but it's Skye, so we can have all seasons, and we learn more actually outside. We have that connection outside with nature, and it gives you a time to think about things that you've found out and discovered about yourselves.
I'm joining the group on an adventure. This lot only met each other yesterday. But from the banter on the bus, you wouldn't know it.
We Bern. Is that what you were using, Bern?
No, I was using Wayne.
Wait, see, I have never even heard that term before. Wayne, you're pulling my leg. You're just trying to teach me words. What's a jobby?
Do you know what a jobby is?
No.
He doesn't know what a jobby is.
What's a jobby?
Jobby.
A jobby is a poo.
Like smelling. No, a jobby is a job.
You're just going to try and get me to say words.
Our destination is the Kerrang, a huge escarpment. It's an Old Norse word for a hidden plateau called the Table, and that's our goal. Both difficult to find and to reach, few visitors to Skye ever see it.
Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
The terrain underfoot is going to be quite uneven and sometimes slippery, so we're going to walk slowly and steadily to keep everyone safe. Cool?
I want to meet my fellow adventurers, but with a 5-hour hike ahead, that means walking and talking. First up is 17-year-old Cody.
So Cody, tell me what you get out of this. Why are you here?
To be my best self and to give back to my community, my school.
I like this idea of being your best self.
Yep.
How do you do that?
Push and push myself each day more and more. I may seem confident, but inside I'm not. I just put an act on. So if I push and push myself each and every day, just that wee bit further, I'm going to be my best self, and it's going to be amazing.
Have you got goals in life?
Teach PE. I'm halfway there. I teach basketball just now. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
So it would be my dream come true if I can be a PE teacher in the future.
And just how would you describe what we're walking through?
Paradise. I love the outdoors. Absolutely love it. I just seeing all the different views and the hills and all that. I don't know what it is. It just gets to me. Like it touches a nerve inside me, my heart. I just love it.
This is where you need to use your values, focus.
You've got this, I believe in you. Come on, let's do it. Well done, you look great.
Oh, the motivation.
Well done, Katie.
Well, like a cheerleader.
Nice. Woohoo! Well done!
An hour into the walk, and 13-year-old Dylan is setting the pace.
If you're struggling on this kind of walk, stuff like this, just keep pushing through, because you know that if it's really hard to get to the top of the view, it will obviously be a good reward when you get to the top. It feels quite nice because like, you stop thinking about everything, you just sit and look at the view, and it makes you feel nice and relaxed, and you take a minute to just look at what's around you.
We make the final ascent to the table. It's not an easy climb. We're already almost 1,000 feet above sea level, with another 500 to go, straight up.
That's cool.
There, got it, on it.
Unlike visitors who sometimes drive up for a selfie, these guys are really getting involved with the landscape and reaping the rewards.
Yes!
Yes!
Well done, everyone.
Was it worth it?
Well, what do you think of that?
It's beautiful but scary.
Marie-Claire, leader of Columba 1400's team, has worked alongside hundreds of young urban Scots, inspired by an experience like this.
I've seen firsthand what all those kids have got out of something like this.
By giving young people the opportunities to step out of their communities and think about who they are and who they might yet become, it allows them to make a difference to their own lives and the lives of those around them.
I'm curious where Columba comes into all of this.
Yeah. It was because St Columba was an Irish prince who went on to a positive future, and I was taking that analogy of it doesn't matter what your background is or whatever's happened in your past, it's about what you do in the future that really matters. And the essence of our work is underpinned by our founding principles of warmth of welcome, warmth of hospitality, and the sense of being on a shared journey.
Pioneering spirit, adventurous.
And that's really emulating St Columba in the way that he was in his life and the communities in which he served.
St Columba's story might be the bedrock for this experience, but it's the landscape that does the inspiring. 15-year-old Tammy recently moved to Scotland from South Africa.
What do you think, Tammy?
Oh, it's beautiful. But it took like a long time for us to come here. But I kind of think it's kind of like a representation of life, you know? Like it's dangerous, but it's like beautiful, you know?
What do you think you get out of being part of this group and coming out on walks like this?
I feel like it kind of like brought something out of me. Like where I stay, I really don't see this kind of like beauty on the daily. So it's really nice to see and like appreciate like what we have, you know, like cherish like the time we spend with our family. It kind of it puts everything into perspective. Like, this is so massive and big, and I'm so small. So, yeah, it's really beautiful.
Can I thank you all for letting me tag along? It's great. You're all, and I'm really. Can I just say this as well? I think I'm really impressed with all of you. I think every single one of you has huge potential, if you ask me. Right, everyone go back in there so I can get a selfie with all of you. This was the goal, and we have made it, and I can hear the satisfied voices. And what that does is it bonds you together. And I've seen a group of strangers effectively become pretty good mates. Nice. And what every single one of them said was that this kind of environment has emboldened them. It's boosted their confidence. It's brought them out of themselves, and it has kind of made them a better version of who they already were.
The Columba 1400 experience isn't about being part of one faith or tradition, more about an opportunity to experience joy, awe, and discovering there's something bigger than yourself. But of course, Scotland's Western Isles remain a haven for traditional Christian faith. It's a Sunday, and I've come to the harbour village of Uig, to the west of the island. Here in the village church, people gather from all over the north of Skye to practice an ancient form of worship that's as beautiful and otherworldly as the landscape. This is Gaelic psalm singing, or Psalmody. It's a translation of Psalm 103. Gaelic was the mother tongue of the Highlands and Islands for almost 1,500 years. An early form of it was introduced by Irish clans settling Scotland's west coast during the 5th century. It was the language spoken by Celtic missionaries, spreading their new faith, and by St. Columba himself. The Bible, in its entirety, wasn't translated into Gaelic until 1801. But the tradition of Psalmody dates to the aftermath of the Reformation, and its ethereal sound has been described as a vertical connection to God. Psalmody was once a common sound on Sundays, on many of Scotland's islands, but it's much rarer now. 30% of Skye's population are Gaelic speakers. The 40 or so people here today normally attend other churches across the island, where the services are held in English. But on the first Lord's Day of every month, they gather here to sing in their mother tongue. Among them is Donald MacLeod, the lead psalm singer or precentor.
That was beautiful. I mean, really, I did. I felt the music. It was lyrical, it was beautiful, and not that you surprised me with your voice, but you've got a great voice.
Thank you.
Talk me through what you were doing and how it was working, because you were singing your part and then everyone was following?
That's right. It's a tradition that goes back 200 years since they were composed. And the idea was a long time ago, when people possibly didn't have Bibles, or a lot of people couldn't maybe read that well, the presenter presented the first line of the psalm, and then the congregation, as we are tonight, came in and sang that line. So at the end of that line, I presented another line, so they all came in at the end, and sang that line again, right through the psalm.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why it sounded so beautiful for me, because it's almost like a conversation you're having with everyone.
Yes,
Who first taught you Gaelic?
We were born and brought up in Gaelic. It was mostly my parents that spoke Gaelic and my grandparents, it was all Gaelic. In fact, in school we learned to speak English, in fact.
What does it mean for you as a churchgoer to have a service in Gaelic like that?
It's the same singing, same tunes, it doesn't change, and, it just brings you back to your childhood, really, yeah.
I found it surprisingly moving. As a non-churchgoer, I think music has the power to move you, and that's exactly what happened there. When I think of all the tourists here marching up to get their photos and queuing up for restaurants, I think they'd be amazed at what's going on behind these walls. This ancient tradition, this singing that's been going on here for hundreds of years in Gaelic. I think it would surprise people and move people to know that it still happens here. And for me, that is a sound of the island. It's a new day, and I've set out early to a more remote northwest corner of Skye to find some solitude and get a glimpse of the Outer Hebridean Islands to the west.
So in the distance there's this huge squall of grey rain, and behind that is Harrison Lewis. On the face of it, especially when the cloud is hanging low, it can feel like quite an oppressive, heavy, dark landscape. But I would disagree. I think the richness of colours here are what draws and has drawn people for hundreds of years to just take all of this in, because we're not usually exposed to this. And look, I'm counting now that rain squall coming in. I reckon we've got about 5 minutes. It's going to be quite heavy. Here's the rain. I was a bit off my timing there. I gave us 5 minutes. I reckon we've got about 30 seconds.
I was told there is no such thing as bad weather in Scotland, just the wrong clothing. So I'm just sheltering while it passes. But I find myself mesmerized by the drama. I love it. Because you can watch it happening and unfolding. It's like watching a painting be created in front of you. And I actually think that's it. Isn't that amazing? That's the beauty of being in a place like this on Skye. "1,500 years ago, Irish monks traversed these wild waterways in simple animal skin boats. Their mission was twofold: to spread their new faith, but also by exposing themselves to the ever-changing elements. They put themselves at God's mercy, thereby bringing their souls closer to Him. I want to get a sense of what it feels like to be out on the water, and what that sensation can do for someone today. I'm heading for Loch Harport, on Skye's west coast to meet up with Nick Ray. A self-described feral kayaker, he's in the midst of an epic 365-day quest to kayak around as much of Scotland's coastline as he can.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, Ben.
Lovely day for it. Typical Skye weather.
Good Skye weather, yeah, indeed.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for coming.
How long have you been out in your kayak for now then?
Must be 10 months now.
Wow. So this must be normal for you. This is a fine day.
It's a good day. I mean, it's a little bit breezy, but no, it's fine. Whatever the weather, yeah.
I'll go and get changed and I'll meet you back here.
Brilliant, good to see you.
See you in a moment.
Yep.
Even in summer, Skye's weather can be unforgiving. And if I've learnt one thing, it's to adapt to the conditions and borrow appropriate kit.
Just going to slide you in and you'll be afloat.
Through the weed.
The thing to do is just to relax into it, just feel the boat beneath you and the movement of the water.
Mm-hmm.
You get your body tuned to kind of wearing the kayak, really.
I like that term, wearing the kayak.
Yeah.
You just lead the way.
The coastline of Scotland, including its islands, is over 11,500 miles long. For his 365-day journey, Nick carries everything he needs in his kayak, wild camps on the shoreline, and has to average around 30 miles a day.
So this is kind of the ultimate slow travel, isn't it?
It
really?
is. The thing that I've discovered on this journey is the power of intimacy.
But that you're so close to everything around you.
Yeah, just finding myself in tune with the rhythms of the natural world.
Do you ever get lonely when you're out?
No. One of my favorite quotations is loneliness is the word that we describe the pain of being alone, and solitude is the word we describe the joy of being alone.
Ah, I like that.
And so for me, my experience is very much about solitude.
Yeah. That's a great quote, that.
I think as we go around the corner, we'll suddenly find that the
wind is on our nose.
Yeah, and the sea state will be a little bit...
Am I going to have to work a little bit harder, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it'll be a bit lumpier as well.
For Nick, this adventure is more than just a personal challenge. Nick has suffered from severe depression for around 30 years, something that recently brought him to a crisis point. But he believes that being this close to nature and experiencing its power helps him better cope with and manage his condition.
You know, my intention was really to enjoy these landscapes and these seascapes.
Yeah.
What can be gained from placing ourselves in times of difficulty and coming through.
Yeah.
I'm particularly interested in the aspect of mental health, and how doing this certainly helps the depression that I live with.
How bad has the depression got?
Well, I've made an attempt in my life, a serious, how
long ago that was?
2019. So, so when I talk about keeping myself safe, there's meaning behind those words, because I know that I need to be serious about paying attention to where my thoughts are leading me, or my feelings as well. And I think what I'm gaining from this experience is that life is worth fighting for. And I think what I've learned now is that it's not about getting rid of the depression, it's about living with the depression, but living a full life.
This, I'd say, is a full life, Nick.
Yeah, well, It's a funny old world, really, for me, because there may be days when I feel pretty rubbish.
Even when you're out here?
I'm out here, but then moments later, I'll just remind myself where I am and...
So this really is your medicine?
This is my medicine, yep, yep.
Well, thank you for sharing it with me, Nick. I'll remember this. The day Nick took me out in a huge headwind.
But the sea is alive, isn't it? I mean, it's...
There are, of course, many ways to manage depression, but for Nick, this seems to work best.
There we go.
Well done.
Beautiful.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Do you enjoy that?
I loved that.
Good.
That was good for the mind. That's a beautiful experience and a beautiful way to explore the coastline, because you're seeing it literally. You know, you're seeing parts of Skye that you simply wouldn't get to explore. But then to share that with Nick, who's got this incredible story, you know, someone who has had depression, still has depression, but is working with it. And I think to see the joy that Nick gets out of this and the frisson of danger, of the waves getting a little bit bigger, that was me, not him, is all part of it, isn't it? Because it makes you feel alive, and then you come ashore and it's raining and it doesn't matter, because that's what it's all about.
I can see why Skye draws 21st century pilgrims, how it continues to inspire with awe, even well-being. But also that, despite the island's popularity, ancient and traditional forms of Christian worship survive. Now, I want to visit the lesser visited island neighbours, Raasay and Rona.
Right, on to the Raasay ferry.
Lying a mile or so to the east of Skye, it's just a 15-minute crossing to Raasay. But the service is often suspended due to severe weather, and the island must at times feel cut off. It may have been Raasay's remoteness that saw the island community observe the sacred tradition of the Sabbath as a day of rest for that bit longer than mainland Scotland. The ferry didn't run on a Sunday until 2004.
Thank you.
Raasay is 14 miles long and 175 people call it home. I want to get a sense of why you're drawn to live on a small island that might be cut off, and how its religious traditions shape life here today.
Right, what better way to get to know an island than through a local? So I am looking for Chrissy's house. Chrissy? Hello?
Hello.
Chrissy Gillis was born and brought up on Raasay, but as a young adult, left to live in Aberdeen for study and work. She returned 5 years ago, and I want to get a sense of what drew her back.
Family affair here, then.
Oh, yes. So this is my mum and dad's croft. They're
Yep.
at number 5.
Yeah.
And then I'm at number 4.
Is this your house?
This
Static?
has been home for the last 5 years. And hopefully, eventually, I will get a chance to build just here on the right.
What's going on over here? It looks like the dogs are actually rounding up the
They're
ducks.
keeping them sort of to me. So the old dog is just, as long as he's trying to keep 1 or 2 ducks towards me, he's quite happy. But then the young dog is actually a working collie. Scott, come here. Boys, in. Great, in. Scott, go in.
A lot of the islands that I've visited have been steeped in faith. Maybe a little bit dwindling today compared to what it was. But I'm wondering about where that comes into Raasay. Is this a very religious island?
It certainly was a very religious island. Growing up, there was a sign down at the playing field saying, "Do not use this playing field on Sundays." That's mysteriously vanished in the last few years. We're not quite sure where it's ended up. But we figured out recently that I've got ADHD. It's taken a while. But going to church, while the message always made sense to me in the discussion and that side of things, I'm not designed to sit quietly on a seat and listen. I need engagement, I need discussion. So it never quite resonated with me in the way that it does with my parents and with various other friends as well.
And just to be clear, the playgrounds are no longer locked on a Sunday here?
They are no longer locked on a Sunday, but it's still, I can't bring myself to hang up washing on a Sunday. I just can't do it. It's like you'll not go for a walk at the times that the church is going in or out, so you don't meet folk. I don't know, it's a kind of...
Guilt?
No, respect. We'll go with respect. It's not guilt. No, not guilt. It's just that, yeah, it's just being respectful and supportive, I suppose, of other people's faith and other people's understanding of things.
Can we just take a moment to admire that? How do you describe that?
I've grown up with this view. I think it's normal. I think it may have slightly swayed my perspective on life. Because I lived in a high-rise in Aberdeen and I've lived in, a flat and things like that. And it's just, I'd rather be home. It's that proper sense of place.
This is part of my whole journey, is trying to understand that sense of belonging. Mm-hmm. And I think when you were an islander, particularly from a very small island like Raasay, that must be magnified, that feeling of identity. It's that sense of, it's not just me, it's my family, it's generations of family. The running joke is, it's not just that your family are from the island, it's your dogs and your dog's best friends and everything else are from the island. And you've got those stories going back 3 or 4 generations of, well, that's Peter's Corner, because that's where my great uncle Peter nearly went off the road, and then you've got all of these other stories. And it just really, really links you to home. It links you to that it's that dúchas, it's dúchas. Dúchas?
Dúchas is that kind of sense of belonging, it's that sense of home, which is really hard to explain in a sentence.
And that presumably is Gaelic, the Gaelic word.
Yeah, it's Gaelic.
Chrissy's sense of place and home chimes with a story about Raasay I first heard many years ago. That of one man's quest to bring the people of his island closer together. As recently as the 1970s, some Raasay communities were only reachable on foot. But one islander, Callum MacLeod, set out to change that. In the early 60s, Callum began building a road from his home in Arnish. 2 miles long, he set out to connect his community with the road to the harbour and the wider world. It took him 20 years, and the story goes he did it with little more than a pick, a shovel, and a wheelbarrow. Callum died in 1988. But Chrissy has introduced me to her father, Andrew, who remembers Callum and his epic feat.
So is this the official start of Callum's Road?
This is just about where it started, just behind us a wee bit, but that's where Callum started.
Do we think these are original barrows and spades?
I would doubt it. I would doubt it. I don't think they would have lasted since the 1980s.
What kind of equipment did he have?
Well, pick, shovel, spade, big hammer, breaking stones, and a lot of it was just manual work.
I mean, we're walking up quite a steep section here.
Yes.
I'm just trying to imagine one man and a barrow doing all of this. What kind of man was Callum?
I don't know how you describe Callum. He was hard-working, determined, I think well-educated. When he started it, I suppose people didn't really see a future, but he was determined to try and make a road to try and keep people staying there. He knew what he wanted. He wanted to see life continue the way he knew it, and people staying there and, you know, working the land. The land meant a lot to him, and he worked it right up to the end.
Did he toil every day on this road?
I'm sure he did. Well, 5 or 6 days a week. He certainly wouldn't work Sundays.
What does this road mean to you?
It's known as Callum's Road. It'll always be known as Callum's Road. I think just means sort of the determination and the strength of one man wanting what he saw was good for the community and for his islanders.
Faith comes in many forms. Callum had an unswerving faith over 20 years that he could build his road and help keep people living in his remote community.
This is so much more than just a road, because it was an act of defiance, it was an act of folly, it was an act of determination and grit. And I think that's where myth and legend is born, because actually heroics and stubbornness are sometimes sort of intertwined. It's not an easy life for islanders, and you need that resilience that Callum had. So for me, this road is actually representative, I suppose, of all of those traits that I've been exploring over many weeks across the islands. It's what an islander is.
If I hadn't spent a year living on a remote Scottish island, I might not have fully understood how tough and resilient you need to be to live on one. Now I'm hitching a lift north, up the Sound of Rasay towards the Isle of Rona, a place that could have ended up being a very special place for me. It's somewhere I've always wanted to visit.
What not a lot of people know is that that could have been my home for a year. When I was marooned for the Castaway project, we were given the choice. Did we want to spend time on Tarrantay in the Outer Hebrides off Harris and Lewis, or did we want to come here? And we overlooked Rona. So I'm going to visit the island that could have meant a great deal to me.
Rona lies just off the north tip of Rasay. Its name is believed to mean rough island, and its total area is just over 3.5 square miles.
What a beautiful harbour, completely protected.
Year-round, there are only 2 permanent residents on Rona, and I'm greeted by the island's caretaker, Bill Cowie.
How are you doing? You must be Bill. Permission to come ashore?
Absolutely.
How are you?
Yeah,
nice
good.
to meet you. What an amazing spot this is.
It's all right, yeah.
This is incredible.
Bill's agreed to give me a quick tour of the island that could have been my home for 12 months.
Nice wheels, Bill. You need a driving license on here?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder what the Castaway crowd would have made of this place.
I think we would have loved it.
Yeah.
This would have been an amazing place here. Very different feel.
Uh-huh.
Today, there might only be a population of 2 on Rona, but records show that in the 1860s, 150 people lived on the island, most scratching a meagre living from subsistence farming. Although devout Christians, there was no church on Rona back then. The purpose of my journey is to find sacred places that are off the beaten track, and Bill wants to show me something very, very special. The place where the islanders of Rona gather every Sunday.
You must know the island like the back of your hand. So where are you taking me now?
The Gaelic translation is Giant's Cave.
Yeah.
And it's become Church Cave because it was used for worship.
Yeah. Right, you lead the way. When were you last here, Bill?
Pooh, I really honestly can't tell you. It may have been last year.
I was told the cave was only a wee bit of a walk away. Might have been an understatement. We've already driven from the far side of the island, crossed nearly a mile of rocky bogland, and now we're descending into a chasm.
You can imagine when the rain does come big time that there's a fair torrent coming down here.
Yeah, we'll be walking down a waterfall.
Yeah, been there, done that.
I don't think I've ever undertaken such an arduous journey to a place of worship.
They used to come here twice, if not 3 times on a Sunday to worship.
And look at this place. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, here we are, Ben. All these stones and rows are the pews. Everybody that comes to Rona wants to get to Church Cave.
And why is that? What's the draw, do you think?
Well, I think it's just such a serene place. You know, I mean, it's quite, I would say, overwhelming for people.
And look at the aspect that the congregation would have.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I was just going to say, it reminded me, and this drip came out of the ceiling and hit me on the head, that this here was where they had the font for baptising the babies of Rona.
Wow.
And there's a drip comes down into it. So when you're living here, you're aware that there's a huge amount of history attached to this island, you know.
Quite an effort for the local islanders to put in to come to their Sunday service.
It's written that even the old folk, almost infirm, would make it here for the services. And not only on a Sunday, other days too.
Any weather?
Anyway, it made no difference. It made no difference to them. They were used to it. They didn't have what we've got in the way of waterproofs. But as you say, it doesn't go past your skin. And I would imagine the services here were quite long and in Gaelic, of course, you know.
I'm now just trying to visualize all those islanders in probably wool jackets. They were probably wearing their Sunday best.
Yeah.
Do you think even despite the difficulty of the journey, they would have dressed up for this?
I'm pretty sure they would have come here dressed if they had that clothes, you know.
Would have been a hardy life living.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, and the men would have had to work away to get some sort of income. Because, you know, what would you have done here to make income off a few cows and a few sheep? 200 people. So, yeah, pretty tough life.
And I wonder how that history impacts on kind of your feeling of spirituality, if that's, for want of a better word.
You know, I had this discussion with the minister that, do I need to go to church to believe in God? Or is God that we have, is it nature? And, you know, we had a long discussion about that, and I think that, you know, he was in agreement that the natural aspect of the world is a gift from God, you know, and for me, it's something that we should cherish, you know, and look after a bit better than we're doing at the moment, like, you know. So, you know, it's nice to come down here, but wherever you are in Rona, you can sit and just enjoy it, you know, and enjoy your own spirituality, whatever you believe, you know.
Well, I feel very privileged to come down here. I might just explore a little bit. Thank you, Bill.
Don't bother, Ben.
What a place.
There's a visitor's book in the cave, and as I add my name to the list of fellow pilgrims who've reached this sacred place, I wonder how often I might have come here to sit and contemplate if I'd spent a year on Rona instead of Taronsay. Sliding doors. Nor can I help but think of the psalm singing I heard on Skye, echoing from this cave across the water.
I've never needed an actual church, but to come to a cave that was used as one with this backdrop kind of makes a lot more sense to me. One of the things that I've always been surprised about is the fact that a church is, you know, that with the stained glass you can never look out. It's all about that inwardness, I think is the only way I can describe it. And yet here, it's very much about looking out at this. And that's quite powerful. I think for me, searching for these sacred spaces, this kind of is the perfect mix. You've got pilgrimage, you've got a sense of purpose, you've got mindfulness, you've got spirituality, and that's all brought together here in this church.
It's been an incredible journey across 12 of Scotland's sacred islands. I've found that diverse faiths thrive. Communities remain strong and still come together for shared causes. And new 21st century pilgrimages flourish amid this incredible natural environment.
A pilgrimage of nature is about going somewhere that you have never seen before, and going to somewhere that surprises you and moves you and challenges you. This will be a place I won't forget about.
How are people connecting with special and sacred places? To find out more and to watch my exclusive interview with the Open University, go to bbc.co.uk/sacred islands and follow the links to the Open University.